It's just 2 weeks after the last round and we're at Santapod's Monster Truck Nationals for the penultimate round of the Competition Clutch front-wheel drive drag series, and it's looking like major mechanical attrition could well determine the series outcome. Points leader Richard Batty damaged the engine of his record-breaking Mitsubishi FTO a couple of events ago and is having to come out in a replacement road car for the rest of the series. Amy Bradley, seen here racing against Richard, also suffered damage to her motor in the last round. Just 230 points behind Richard is Sam Bolton with the Tigra, and with 500 points available for an event win, he must be looking to overcome Richard very soon. But it hasn't been all plain sailing for Sam. Well, I'm here with Sam Bolton. Now, Sam, you were out yesterday and had a bit of an issue, didn't you?
Yeah, we've got the dog box in it now, so we came here yesterday to test it. It didn't go well. We made a bit of a schoolboy error. I went first, locked the wheels up and damaged my engine.
How much damage have you done? Because that can be end of the engine, can't it?
It was. I expected it to be fatal, but we decided to take it back to the workshop. We stripped it down. We found out that it broke the tooth wheel onto the crank and the flywheel bolt. So we rebuilt it. We got some parts, and we're back here this morning.
Okay, so turn our attention to today. Then you're at the start of the day. You've got a long way ahead of you, but hopefully you'll be looking for full points again.
Yeah, I'll just be happy to qualify at the minute. After yesterday, the car's running. I don't know if it's stable, so we'll just qualify, maybe put a slow pass in and just see what happens. Now, at the end of the last event, Amy had a few problems with her race car. She didn't think she'd make it out, and in fact, she didn't make it out. But here you are this weekend in your road car.
Yeah, when I got a new PB, the damage was a lot worse than what we thought. I've ordered the parts from America, but to get them here in like 2 weeks and get it all rebuilt and remapped and stuff, it just wasn't happening, so I've had to rely on the backup car again. My personal best in this is a 12.0, so it's handy to have as a backup car, but 300 brake has never felt so slow before.
Absolutely, and looking around at the other cars, what are your hopes for today?
To be honest, I've just come because I want to keep like 4th place in the championship, so I've just come to get the points really, rather than winning anything.
So into the first qualifying session, and that's Richard Batty in his road-going Audi. And in the right-hand lane, it's Amy Bradley in her replacement car. Still trying to do a burnout though, still looking competitive. So these times are going to be far slower than we're used to, but in this sort of championships, points are always points. So here we go, Amy off as fast as she can, like a rocket there, going through the gears very nicely. Gets up to the half-track point right now, but where's Richard? Oh, there he is there, just coming into shot. Very, very slow from Richard. He's not used to these kind of speeds at all. Amy crossing the line then. 12.79, 106 miles an hour, and a 16.65 at 83 for Richard. Dan Frost then in the left-hand lane, and this is James Lord in the right-hand lane in the VW. Dan should be very, very competitive this round as he moves into stage right now, looking to get a very good first qualifying pass in, and in these sort of weather conditions as well, it's very important to get your times down as quickly as you can, and he's off very nicely indeed. Remember, they're not up against each other racing, this is qualifying, so what's Dan going to put in? He's crossing the line, looking very good. It's a 10.71, 136 miles an hour up against James, a 12.18 at 127. And Sam Bolton then, very much the firm favourite, especially with Richard Batty in that road car. And off he goes, looking to put down a marker, but he's stalled. As a driver, when you're looking at that, are you thinking this is good for you?
No, because like what happened with me like 2 weekends ago, I know how heartbreaking it is, and you just want to go out and just get PBs all the time, and when stuff happens, it's not just the fact of money, it's just racing, it's just everything, and when something bad happens, it's just not nice.
So qualifying session number 2 then, and it's Dan Frost in the left-hand lane up against James Lord in the right. Now earlier on Dan ran a 10.71, James a 12.18. He's going to look to improve upon that 12.18 of course, and well, Dan looking very nice. James is looking pretty good too as they get half track. Dan flying up to the line. Is he going to be able to improve upon a 10.71? No, he doesn't. 11.21, but I tell you what, James has with an 11.67. And Sam Bolton knows he's got to put down a decent time after stalling in the first qualifying session. So he's building the boost and off he goes, hunting Amy Bradley down, who's in that road car of hers. He's looking very good indeed, getting away very, very nicely. Amy, can she improve upon her previous time? It's unlikely. Sam crossing the line then, 10.16, 146 miles an hour. So looking at the qualifying table then, With just 2 qualifying sessions taking place due to the early morning rain, that sets the final listing with Sam at the top and getting a bye run in the first round. Well, I'm here with Dan Frost. Dan, it looked like you'd hooked yourself up there for a really, really strong first place.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I had trouble with my second run, obviously. My 60 foot was really poor, to be honest with you, and Sam's pulled it out of the bag after yesterday. Well done.
Yeah, indeed. What was wrong with your launch then?
I just think I didn't build enough boost off the line, so obviously it just bogged.
And what happened to Sam Bolton on that first run?
Yeah, we did struggle a little bit. I didn't think I was going to make it down the strip. Stalled it off the start line. Didn't have enough revs, a bit sticky, and yeah, we just stalled it.
Yeah, you say you just stalled it, but it is a completely different way of getting a car off a line, isn't it, here at a drag strip?
We overpowered the slicks off the start line and basically spin the whole 60 foot. Obviously that one we didn't, but yeah.
And once you got over the stall, was it a fairly okay pass for you?
No, it wasn't actually. We brought it up on boost, and at $6,000 it was misfiring. So each gear tried it, still misfiring. We brought it back, and we found out obviously it damaged the crank sensor from the damage. We didn't change it, see.
And with your arch rival Richard Batty there in another road car, a different road car this time as well, you are looking for full points to really close that gap at the top.
It would be nice, but this round we've had some problems. We had some problems at the last round, what we found for this round, but because of the gap we couldn't fix them. My turbo is damaged, couldn't send it away. As you can see, it's smoking quite heavily today. So to do a 10-1 with that, I'm happy, and the new setup, and we're just going to ease it through now.
So as the teams prepare for the first round of eliminations and the monster truck action wowed the fans, we met up with Ben from series sponsors Competition Clutch. Competition Clutch are the main sponsor of the front wheel drive drag series, but why are you so actively involved?
I think Comp, throughout its history, they really want to get involved with drag racing, with motorsport, and they like to support the series and see the races out there. So they like to see their product in action, and that's why sponsored drag. You know, drag racing is probably the hardest thing you can do to a clutch. A drag launch is just horrific for a clutch to have to live through. It's great to see them out there and put the product through what it can do, and Comp makes some great clutches. Product that really works in this kind of environment. You can get the right clutch for your car. So if you've got a lightweight car, you're probably going to go with a single plate, something that's not too beefy, right up to the sort of twin plate, big power stuff. You can get the right clutch, the right product that's going to do the job. For drag racing, you've always got to overclutch a car, and if you don't, you're going to have a problem. The main thing's the heat. Obviously, the clutch is there to transfer the torque from the flywheel through to gearbox. But yeah, imagine the heat at the point when your flywheel, which is spinning at 8,000 revs, meets the gearbox, which is stopped. Your clutch has got to deal with that and dissipate that heat.
Into the first round of eliminations then, and it's James Lord in the left-hand lane up against Amy Bradley in the right-hand lane in that road car. Now on paper this is all going to be James's, but something's happened to him on the start. He's not got away. Amy is off to a flyer, but James is static on the start line. What a shame for James Lord. Amy going up across the line. She'll know this is hers. She cuts the beam there. A 13.10 and no start for James. What a surprise. And Richard Batty in the left-hand lane in his road car up against Dan Frost. This one should also be a no-brainer. It should be Dan's all the way, but we just saw James have a bit of misfortune on the start line. Not for Dan though. He is away very nicely indeed, already building up a huge gap between himself and Richard Batty. Crossing the line then in a flat 11 seconds at 120 miles an hour. Very, very impressive. And Richard getting there finally at a 16.67. Finally then is Sam Bolton in the left-hand lane. Now of course he doesn't have to do a pass at all. He just has to break the beam, and that's what he's just done. But what a surprise win there for Amy Bradley. What about that? You got through against James?
Yeah, I really wasn't expecting that, and I did feel absolutely gutted for James, because if I was in my EG then yeah, I probably would have had it in the bag, but I really didn't think I was, and racing against one of your friends and then for him to actually break it as well, it is pretty gutting. So
Yeah, it is gutting, but when it comes to competition, I know you kind of have to leave the friendship to one side, don't you, really? But to see you go off the line there, it was a case of you're so consistent off the line, anything can happen in drag racing.
Yeah, I think when I'm in my road car and even with the EG, I just like to get my reactions down, and I think I can get to like a 0.22 reaction. So as long as I'm quick off the line and get every single gear, then normally it goes quite well.
Semi-final time then, and it is Sam Bolton in that black Tigra up against Amy Bradley now. We all know which way it should go. Sam getting away properly this time. He's had one misfortune on the line so far today, but not this time. Off he goes there, leaving Amy in his mirrors, flying up to the line. Very impressive from Sam. Crossing the line then in a 10.31, 143 miles an hour, and Amy a 13.36. Not bad from her at all in that road car. Dan Frost then, he gets a bye run, so he's not up against anyone at all. All he has to do is cut the beam, but I suspect he's going to try and lay down a marker for the final. And away he goes, looking very, very impressive, very poised there is Dan Frost. Half track, looking very good, keeping on the power there, up to the line, crosses then in a 10.74, 135 miles an hour. That should wake Sam up a little bit.
Yeah, I am just glad that I've got some more points on the leaderboard, and hopefully I'll be out at Jack Final with the EG and be smashing some more good times. So
fantastic stuff, and hopefully keeping that fourth place and maybe even moving up.
Yeah, I'd like to get up to third, so I've got an achievement from last year because I came fourth last year in this, but to stay fourth then, yeah, that would be good as well.
Well, we're just about to go to the final. I'm here with the two finalists, Dan and Sam. Dan, great into the final. It was easy for you, wasn't it, to get to the final? No troubles?
Yeah, not at the minute, but you never know.
And you're up against the car you have to beat, really. I mean, with all the cars that are left on the grid that are available for you, Sam's is the one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it's very fast at the minute, and I don't think I've got a very good chance.
You don't sound all that optimistic. Would you take second?
Yeah, I'll take second.
Well, Sam, you just heard that Dan's happy to take second. I know you're not happy with second.
No, we do need first for the points, but after that last run, we've got a bit of an issue with the gear linkage now. We've just broke it. So, yeah, it's all to play for in the final.
And is that going to cause you untold concern?
Yeah, obviously I've got first, second, and then there's a possibility I can get fifth now instead of third because it's broken and it can go into fifth. And yeah, so it's a bit wary.
So it's going to be a lap of the gods for you?
Yeah, well, we'll just do what we do and we'll see what happens.
So it's time then for the all-important final. And can Sam get the points that he needs to go number one? This one is going to be very, very tight. Strong burnouts then for both drivers. We have got Sam Bolton in that left-hand lane in the black Tigra up against Dan Frost, looking very strong this weekend in the right-hand lane in the Civic, and off they go. A great start there for Sam Bolton. He needed this. He is off and running very nicely, but is Dan hunting him down? Looks like he is pulling back a little bit. Sam looks like he's starting to maintain that gap. He has indeed. He crosses the line at 10.59 at 142 against Dan with a 10.84. Great stuff, and well done there to Sam. Well, we're on the start line. Sam, what a day, what a win.
Yeah, well, what a weekend, to be honest. Nightmare.
It was fly by the seat of your pants, wasn't it, all the way?
Oh yeah, I didn't even think the car was going to get this far. It's definitely tailing off now. We're miles off our obviously best, but we managed to scrape it through.
And you've got to turn your attention now to October the 12th here for the Jap Show finale. What are your thoughts on that? Do you know what you've got to achieve?
Not so much achieve, but we've got a lot of breakages we need to cure from this weekend and from last weekend, and we'll come out and we'll just do what we can do.
So with Sam now leading the points table, we'll see you at the Jap Show finale on October the 12th here at Santa Pod.